Amokrias, zaplište gruče, strignajar,
After the battle, we were herded through foul-smelling mud to a track away from the battlefield. Stripped of our weapons and uniform, barefoot, limbs dragging, we were beaten like animals to stay in line. Even then, I knew, as prisoners of war, this would mean a long exile for all we know and love. They sorted out the badly wounded old and bairns and sent them back home.
Cromwell's men have beaten them. Whether my eyes are open or shut, I cannot say. Yet I see soldiers swaying together, singing, ready to dance or to die, for the precious Scots soil under their feet. I imagine severed arms and legs, and frantically run and run around battlefields, scaring away carrion birds, picking at smashed skulls. Bereft, I sink, press my belly into blood-stained earth, and wonder how can life go on. My Tam is alive. Now, I must find the courage to follow him, come hill or high water.
There's no sympathy for the officers marshalling us. We were made to march column after column, always south towards England. I can't tell you how many of us died, thousands. The heart of an army. Some of us we sent to work in the salt pans, or in the factories to spin flax or weave linen, others to labour in the Fens. We had no hope of seeing our women and bairns again. Men who escaped were hunted down by the cavalry and shot in front of us. At Morpeth, on the way to the south, many more died of the flux or fever. We were starving Coventina. We died by the trackside, in undergrowth, in muddy pools of rainwater. Hunger kills without care for place or person.
Hogmanay, 1651, the day the second Charles was crowned King of Scotland. I leave Dunbar before Ma and the elders can change my mind. I must find Tam. I have something to tell him. My Nana gave me her plaid shawl. I wear 2 shifts for warmth, 2 linen petticoats, a reed stiffened bodice, knitted stockings, and sheepskin leather boots. I fasten Tam's pin to my cloak, take a secret track to Greenan Castle by way of the ley tunnels where the Covenanters hide, and make plans to march to Dunbar under General David Leslie. Walking, scrambling, hiding in a haunted bothy along the way, I reach Aunt Lizzie's tavern in Glasgow. She tells me that Tam is alive, to hurry. She has paid for my ride by postcoach to Edinburgh. Nothing from home prepares me for the noise of people. I make friends with a gypsy girl and her family. We travel to Athelstanford, where the Scottish flag came from, and then on to Linton, with a secret waterfall where we bathe together, naked. One night, I overhear Cromwell's soldiers saying they had beaten the Scots without mercy. Yet I know that Tam has survived the Doonhill battle, and the next day I set off for Morpeth. It is as though, when our soldiers die, I see their history, watch it happen again through my eyes, so that I may tell their story to everyone. There's a walled garden here, called the Murder Path, which took the lives of many starving soldiers, They died, gorging on raw cabbages and roots. My journey to Hadrian's Wall, by way of Newcastle, gives me strength and wisdom about how family wars seem to go on and on without resolution. There, as if by magic, I find my own name, Coventina, a goddess of water, carved into a stone altar. Further along the wall, I see Tam. Our eyes meet, then he turns away and disappears. I weep and weep, alone again, sleep in a ditch, feeling betrayed by Tam. My journey from Dunbar to Durham, heavy with death, has it brought me to the half-open door of a great church on a steep hill. I need to find Tam. Slowly, I creep into the dim, evil-smelling church, and I am blinded with frozen tears which cut my cheeks. They fall, like spears, onto stinking, slippery flagstones. I grab at the first pew, shaking with fear. Half-clothed soldiers lie across the aisles. They sit, sprawl, arms and legs spread out like broken sticks on blood-stained pews. I hear a long, low moan echo from wall to wall up into the tower, unable to escape the death trap below. Everywhere, I see Tam. By the altar, by the prior's clock. He is here. I pick my way over men and boys with war-stained hands, but they grab and they pull at the hem of my cloak. He calls out. Their screams get louder and louder. They're pleading, drowning all hope of nourishment or rescue. I flee into the open air, gasping for breath, pulling my cloak around my shoulders, and I wish I could feel my ma's warm breasts against my cold body. Blindly, I stagger. From the church steps, I feel as naked as a newborn as Tam touches my shoulder and disappears. And then I find them, my kinsmen, in an open hole, one on top of the other, naked. Men and boys cling to each other, grasping the body next to his own, as though cradling him for scavenger wolves, keeping their covenanter's oath to honour their cause of peace and freedom always. But they are unblessed, laid in the wrong directions. A black hooded crow picks at the bones. Another flies out of a cage of one of the soldiers' chests, spreading sodden muck, its claws clotted with fleshless skin. I fall to the ground as it brushes by me, its wings whipping foul air into my face. I see broken limbs, empty skulls, search empty sockets for amber eyes the colour of mine, bearing Tam's special mark. He's not there. He is still alive. Kneeling by the grave, I open my pouch and place a sprig of heather close to a fingerless hand. I hide in deep undergrowth for days, but do not sleep for the sound of hunger screams. No one ever came to that cursed or evil place. As the sun sets, I see Tam, standing, gazing down with their crisscrossed limbs, saying farewell to his friends and clansmen.
They will return, no these men, but their descendants, seekers after truth. No today to this foreign resting place, but in years to come to honour barefoot soldiers who were buried in unhallowed ground without respect or ceremony. They will return to honour us.
As the sun rises, I pay my last respect to the fine men I'm leaving behind. As I set off in search of Tam, he is waiting for me beside a small church close by an old bridge over a broad river. Today is Friday, the 18th of May, 2018, and we slip through historic time and place as we have done so often on this journey. Bells are ringing out, calling our descendants to this sleeping ground to witness at last the rite of passage of proud Scottish soldiers who died more than 300 years ago. They do not see me in my precious cloak, nor Tam in his Leslie tartan, drifting in and out of the ranks of clansmen misting the air. The service is simple, a psalm and a blessing, fit for our place in history.
They wore white coats and masks when they collected our bones gently into silken cloths and put us back together on long shining tables in shining white room, and laid out with such gentleness and care it feels almost like your love Coventina.
We shall be remembered. The casket is lowered. Tam places his cap and badge by the graveside and fades into the bright air of forgiveness.
I'm reborn, my face is made young again.
I stand in his footprints, stoop, and take a handful of Scottish soil.
We march the ancient road to the south together. This lifeline throughout history for drovers, geese herders, market traders, caravans, strawberry fairs, post coaches and Scottish soldiers. We walk forests, marshlands and moors, sometimes barefoot through soft grasses and heather. Watch out for the weather, wade streams, sleep under the changing seasons of the moonlight, visit a kirk along the way and talk a life together in Dunure. But I'm only to be seen in Coventina's dreams. Her quest is hard, her feet ache, her body moans with deep sadness or sings with joy. Coventina asks why. My answer lies within. The theatre of war knows no local boundaries, no edges, no landmarks, north, south, east or west. January 1652. This river will never make this land safe for rain and flood waters. But our drain, the drain we Scots are building beside matching eyes and ears of the old Bedford, will keep the people safe. The land under our feet is as ancient as time itself. We belong to that history now, Coventina. Our feet have carried us through wild places and the places of men. In our passing through, we change them little, if at all. Now we're changing nature itself, and although we bring good change to some, we bring poverty to others. I can't foresee all that this change will bring. I can't stop it. We're searching for rainbows.
The rains come, and I have no shelter. I slip over, but save myself from falling into the old river. Does Tam lie here, lost without trace under cold earth? A young man offers his boat. I tell him that I'm looking for a Scottish prisoner of war. He unfurled the sails as we leave the ferry crossing. We use poles to push the barge clear of overgrown banks. Too late, the man shouts a warning and stumbles as we hit the side. His cap falls into the water, revealing long dark hair. He is a she. Our laughter echoes out through the mist across the fens. We rest for the night, close to tools, left for the next day's dig. Nancy, the waterman, asked me to stay, to tell my stories of lost memories and my journey through many changing landscapes. She will name her barge for me, the Coventina. But I must find Tam, share our secret, locked inside me. I see him, I see them, man by man by man, prisoners endlessly digging their trenching tools into clay to carve out a new corpse road from the sea, from Erith to Denver. In my pouch lies my offering to the land. My hand closes around it as I throw the sacred Scottish soil up and out into the sky. The wolf wind catches it as it scatters across the earth that they're digging. I hear Tam sigh. It passes from man to man, from first spade to last. Their sighs become our anthem, the song of the undefeated. And I watched Tam walk away from me into the welcoming landscape.
Iravata Nahorueva, Iravata Nahorueva, Iravata Nahorueva. Maharisloni Skaranchu Chechu.